Hi everybody, we're going to go through vocabulary for algebraic expressions. These are notes for lesson 3.1, algebraic expressions. There are 7 vocabulary words that you need to be familiar with prior to class. So I'm going to recommend that you write all of these vocabulary words down and then listen, or you can listen and then write all the vocabulary words down, or you can write pause, listen, write, pause, listen, write, pause, listen. So please find the best way that works for you in regarding how to take notes. So the first vocabulary word that you need to be familiar with is algebraic expression. An algebraic expression is an expression that has no equal sign that may contain numbers, operations, and one or more variables. The next one is parts of an expression, which is called terms. And then like terms are terms that have the same variable raised to the same exponent. So for example, x is the variable and can be added with other x's, but if it's x to the second, it can't be added with x. A variable is a symbol, typically a letter, that represents one or more numbers or value. The coefficient is the numerical factor of a term that contains a variable. So there's going to be a term that has a variable in it. The number in front of the variable is referred to as the coefficient. The constant is whichever term has no variable in it. And then when we're asking for simplest form, we're asking for that expression when it has no like terms nor parentheses in it. So here is an example of an algebraic expression. It has no equal sign. It does contain variables and numbers. So when I'm looking at this algebraic expression and I want to list the terms, I'm going to list the terms as 5x, -3, -2x, and 2. These subtraction signs are the exact same thing as a negative symbol because you're going ahead and adding them. So do not forget to include those negative signs. Like terms, I can add 5x and -2x. I can combine them because I have 5 x's and then 2 negative x's. And then I also have terms that are alike, like -3 and 2. So there's 2 sets of like terms. The variable used in this algebraic expression is x. The constant. The constant is the term with no variable, and that constant is -3, and then it's also 2. The coefficient is the number in front of the variable in the terms that have variables in that, so that would be 5 and -2. I sing a song about that, and I like to say, the constant stands alone, the constant stands alone, hi-ho the cheerio, the constant stands alone. That means no variable. And then I say for the coefficient, it is in front, referring to the number in front of the variable. And then a quick recap of distributive property from last year. When a number is in front of a parentheses, what you're going to do is you're going to multiply that number by every term on the inside. So when I go ahead and distribute that 5, I have 5x minus 15. When I distribute that 5 for the second algebraic expression, I have 5x. I'm going to do this. 5x plus 10 minus 15a. And then for the last one, I have distributing the 5, I have 5x plus 30 minus 30. Now, the only way that these would be simplified is if there were no like terms and no parentheses. So the first 2, I can combine no like terms and I have no parentheses. For the last one, it ends up being just 5x. Be sure to understand this information. Writing it down and having it in your notebooks is not sufficient. You need to understand what these terms mean and how I've applied them here. You may need to watch the video more than once. You may need to Google some of these terms. If you're still struggling with how I went ahead and represented it, feel free to use YouTube and go ahead and ask for another person to go ahead and explain it. Thanks, guys. Have a good one.